Welcome back. It's Birds of a Feather, the co-ed edition. It's your girl AJ, the Suburban Princess here. Back. Look, it's almost summer and there's a lot of things starting to pop. So why not bring back the pod? But I wouldn't do this by
It
talking by myself. I love having my co-ed on. Welcome back, Eddie B.
was good to catch up with you, AJ. It's been a minute.
Been a minute because as you
Oh,
see,
yeah.
Eddie will display his nice t-shirt because I didn't wear my Super Bowl t-shirt. We are still
Yeah.
we are still in the glow and the afterglow of being Super
I
Bowl
watched it a
champ.
couple weeks ago. Yeah, I had to.
I haven't
I
watched it in
watched
a while, but I've been watching the
the
mic'd
mic'd
up.
up version. Yeah, the
Yeah, I
mic'd up
watched the
version of
mic'd
it
up
all.
version. I've been watching that, and then the little things they've been doing for like the bonding activities they're doing right now. So they just showed them going bowling and shooting free throws. So
Oh, that
yes,
was fun for that.
that
That was
was
good.
funny. It was good to see Coop and Saquon bonding, in their group dunk there. Um,
Mm.
so we want to talk about the obvious news that came out today. Eddie knows this season will be hard for me to actually be watching games full out because I no longer have cable. So I'm gonna have to figure it out for the NFL season because I know a lot of stuff is going to probably be on Prime on Thursdays because I think our first game, the first home game, is going to be on Prime. I think.
Thursday night,
Yeah, versus the
Thursday night, yeah.
Cowboys, which is probably the best opener in a long time because
So we
Cowboys.
haven't had them this early in a while. Yeah.
No, I always thought that would be more exciting. I've been saying that for years. I always thought they should kick off the season with their East rival because why the fuck not? If not them, Washington, because Washington was a
Oh
battle
yeah,
last season. But yeah,
yeah.
so overall, we'll just talk about how do you feel about this? I don't know if you've done the wins losses because I don't really do them that much either because it doesn't mean anything. But what do you feel about the schedule now that it's set? Now that we know that the opening is actually going to
So
be in the states and not
it is
overseas.
a tough schedule.
Do you
You
think
know,
so?
it
I'm like,
is.
because
I
they
think
say
it,
that we got the fourth hardest schedule or fourth easiest schedule or something like that.
it's tougher for a lot of reasons. Like, okay, well, they don't have they don't have any back-to-back games at home.
Okay.
Uh, all their games are okay, away, home, away, home, away, home, away, away, or
They're
whatever.
going
Like,
back and forth. Okay.
yeah. So I mean, that's okay. But I mean, well, they like to throw us whatever and
Bone.
curveballs,
Yeah.
and we, I mean, as a team, they did great with what they had last year. I mean, people said their schedule was whatever the year before too. Like
Hmm.
so, I mean, so we'll see how these other teams match up. I mean, only the tough ones I see are, I'm trying to actually bring it up so I can see it
Yep.
on
Me
top of
too.
my head. Um, but the tough ones,
Maybe at the Rams, maybe on my birthday, September 21st.
uh, it's going to be a little bit tough. But you know what? They beat the Rams all the time every time they played them last year. So I mean,
True, but you just never know. I mean, there were injuries. They traded
but
away what's his name, the wide receiver. So if they may have some new young blood. So we'll see.
yeah, I mean, I could see it going. Man, wow. Sorry, I'm looking at it now and I'm just like,
Tampa
okay, big
Bay,
game.
yeah, Tampa Bay is home, right? That's a home game, or is
The
that
first
away? No,
four
that's
games are
away.
pretty tough because we got Cowboys, Chiefs, Rams, Buccaneers,
Yeah, okay.
and the Broncos are solid too. So I mean, Broncos could be challenging too sometimes, but
They actually have a very reasonable bye week. It's not too early. It's not too late. It's
yeah,
like right
that
there
is
in the
true
middle. So
for a
that's
change.
actually
Yeah,
good. Yeah, that's good.
yeah.
And then they play the Packers, so that's actually timely because they'll need that rest before the Packer game.
I think it's weird that we go Commanders, Bills, Commanders at the
Yeah, they found some excuse to throw the Bills in there towards the end. Yeah, they just kind of
end, and
gave you
that
that.
game may, and yeah, well, and that game may not even mean anything. The
It
Commanders
may
may,
not. Yeah, that's gonna be one of them games. Like if it does, it's like by then you're gonna see who's hurt, who's left, on either team.
yeah.
Um,
I mean, I'm excited for a few matchups. So like, I want to see them shut the lines up,
yeah,
and
yeah.
I would like to see them do the tush push like 20 times against the Packers. So,
That's
uh,
basically what we're anticipating for that. That's
because
gonna be
that's
like
because
treating it like a cowboy game. that
because
week.
I embrace that pettiness. Come on, bring it on. Like, let's go. Like,
Well, especially because it was just again so unnecessary. A whole year of
yeah,
propaganda for nothing because they ended up voting it against it anyway. So I mean, voting it
yeah,
back into the fold, so it didn't matter.
yeah. The schedule could be interesting. I mean, I think you can. I think he can squeeze out 11 wins with the schedule.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
honestly, the only thing that always worries me every year is because they lucked out. They pretty much almost swept the whole division last year. So to
and they only
even
lost to the Commanders once. Yeah,
yeah, so and that game could have been had Jalen not gone down, so they could have swept everybody. So that was I always kind of wanted them to at least sweep somebody from the East at least once. So they did that last year, so they accomplished that goal. I think every Super Bowl year is never expected, which I guess is what it's supposed to do. You know, we never
yeah,
thought it was going to happen last year, and then they kind of just quietly kicked ass during the Super
yeah. But they
Bowl.
threw us. Yeah, they kind of threw us every. What 10 of the teams that we play have been in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm,
Like
mm-hmm.
11 games of playing, the teams have all been in the playoffs.
And
So
I
last
still
year,
marvel at the fact it was a 40-22 game. Like that's nothing to like we seem to always be in the 40 points in our Super Bowl appearances. It just cracks me up, except for the one we lost, the which was
mhm.
5 point short. So it's like or
and
yeah.
that ass whooping we gave out the week before, the 2 weeks before that, like to the Commanders.
Yes. You would thought they had nothing left after they did that to Washington. I mean, it was literally like a crapshoot after a
I
while who
mean,
you
and that
look at the
score doesn't
highlights.
really tell you that Super Bowl score doesn't even tell you the whole tale of the game because
It really doesn't.
honestly, they only scored like 6 points like before,
Because they let them come
and
back. Because if the
well,
second
not
team
even
had let
before
them
that.
come
I
back,
mean, yeah, they scored against first team, scored against second team, second and third stringers. I mean, at that time we were on garbage time, so it was like, all right, well, we already got the game in. Let's put our backups in. Like, which hey, it was funny to see the backups come to the Super Bowl, but you know, it's just
I mean, they can
what
say
it
they
is.
played. I mean, that's the one benefit to being second team or third team. Like you can say you played. Like Jeremiah Trotter's son got a chance to get a tackle, so that's good. Like for his first year experience
Yeah,
being on the field.
but
But yeah,
it,
you know,
it should be an interesting year though. I think it's
yeah,
going to be. I can see 11 wins. It's going to be tight, but I think they can edge out 11.
yeah, they're going to battle
And
early. So now that I look at it, I'm with you now. I kind of can see where that can be. Like by the time they meet the Giants, they might be shaking off a little newness from some of the new faces because obviously the
yeah,
defense changed a little bit on the line.
yeah,
Um,
they go back to back with the Giants too. When they go Giants, Vikings,
yeah, Giants,
Giants,
Viking, then Giants.
and then off, and
Crazy.
then a week
Yeah.
off, and then they go to the Green
So,
Bay.
well, you know what? And the thing is, this year, I think the Eagles won't be as well, no, let me take it back. I just realized I forgot. They're including them. The whole division is going to be on HBO Hard Knocks, which now I'm like,
Oh yeah,
gotta freaking fire up my Max subscription now again, damn it. Come October or December when they started. Yeah, they're gonna show the whole NFC East.
NFC East. Yeah,
Yeah, because we're obviously the most
I guess
intriguing.
I guess they got tired of us turning it down. The individual leagues were like, no, we don't want to do
Well, you know why we were
it.
boring in 2019 because that was the year Carson had his last shot to try to get past the playoffs and got a concussion. So it was like sad. It was like wonk wonk. Like
Yeah.
why would you want to come over here now? Because we kind of had a depressing year. So we're not
Well,
good
they did the
TV.
Jets. I mean, come on.
No, I
They
know, but
did the
that's but it
Jets. I
was
mean,
that ending was very sad. Like every time I look back at it and see how destroyed what's his name was the old school backup that ended up playing for Carson. I felt bad for
oh,
how he crumbled to the ground. Like he was so destroyed because he couldn't win it. But it was just like a kill yourself type of season. It just really was like, what was the point of filming? Because we had no drama. It was just boring. And so I think the only
I mean,
intrigue of that whole season was whether Carson Wentz could finish a whole season healthy.
yeah. I mean,
So,
typically, we don't have a lot of drama anyway, so it's kind of
but
boring.
that's my point. I think that's another reason why we're just not exciting enough. Even if they're turning it down, I don't think our team has enough drama. Because I mean, even
And
Sirianni said last season,
I'm okay with that. So
no, we don't need it. That's my point. That's why I say, are we interesting enough for Hard Knocks? But if they're doing the whole division, they don't have to focus on the whole team. Because we got a quarterback
yeah,
that's chill as hell. We got a coach that even though he has his moments, he's learned how to rein it in. So it's like if there's any drama, it's going to probably be with the new faces or any of the guys that've been there. Um, I mean,
they'll
we
follow
got
the
some goofy
rookies.
people. The rookies will be interesting, but I also think you got some goofy
Yeah.
guys. What's his name? Cooper and Reed have their own podcast now. It's Exciting Mike. So now they're going to probably give themselves some content this year. Um,
Hmm.
and then, thank God my Goddard is staying for one more year, even though he's without his best friend Avante, who is now in Detroit. So we'll see how Goddard thrives, especially with competition
Well,
now.
yeah,
Yeah.
well, we knew that was happening, so we knew
Yeah.
Avante was gone. So
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure he knew. That's why I think it was such a quiet, like he quietly like got released and then went to quickly sign with the team. Like he never had a real chance to really prove himself because he just was never healthy enough. And then when he was good, he got one little deflection in the Super
hey,
Bowl where
hey,
he
he
can look
made a
back and
great
say he
play in the
did
Super
it.
Bowl. Yeah,
Perfect timing. It was a one time, anytime Avante has been right on freaking time, and he can look back and
yeah,
say, "I did something. I did something worthy." And he's been to two Super Bowls as whether he was healthy or not. So there are some things you
yeah.
just got to look on the bright side and not look at so doom and gloom on it. Yeah, he may not have worked out, just like Bryce Huff didn't work out. So now it looks like it's almost official that the 49ers are going to trade for him.
We
Um,
still got a ring.
the Eagles are working toward trading D.E. Bryce Huff to the 49ers. So we'll see if it actually
Hey,
goes through because I don't know what
that,
his value would be. But
Godspeed. Goodbye.
it's painful to I know some people say, well, you just sit on the bench and collect money. But I mean, you got to understand a guy's pride. Like when he was more effective on the Jets and then comes here and is invisible, it's kind of embarrassing to
Yeah.
me. So it's a wasted year, but at least you still get paid for it. I mean, it's like a job that you hate that you just get money
Hmm.
for. You're not emotionally invested, but you kind of still feel like you wasted
Yeah.
your time. So, but I mean, again, Howie whiffed on that. That's about the only thing that Howie has missed thus far.
Yeah, that
Um,
was a questionable. That's the only questionable one I can think of from last year. Yeah.
I think most people kind of was like, what was the point of that signing? But I think he was trying to get extra, extra, extra depth
Well,
and
they thought they could make. They thought they could make something out of him, and it just didn't work.
well, the sad part is
That's
he
it.
was the one that was messing up Jalen 2 seasons prior during that miserable Jets game, like 2 seasons before. Like he was a nightmare sacking
Oh
Jalen. So
yeah, of
it's
course.
so
Of course, he
funny.
had a good game. Yeah.
Of course. Then he comes
Yeah.
here and then lays a freaking egg. It's like how ironic. Um,
Yeah.
so also we gotta shift gears just because there's just too much good things happening in Philly on the Eagle front. We're
Mm.
boring now. So we're moving on to our dreaded Sixers, only because the NBA draft is coming up. So Eddie, you've pretty much been on top of the supposed
Mm.
draft picks. So what is your take on what you think the Sixers will do with their number third?
I think they're going to draft Ace Bailey. I mean, that's the most logical thing I can see happening is them drafting Bailey.
Where's he from?
He is from
Is he Rutgers? I can't remember.
yes, Rutgers. Yes,
Is
sorry.
he
Yeah,
Rutgers? Because I know
he's
he
he's
one of them
Rutgers.
was
Yeah.
Rutgers. Okay. All right. So what makes you think now entertain me because I'm still don't even in the WBA. I don't understand what the positions really mean because I feel like some of these players end up playing out of their position anyway, right? Because that's why the whole drama.
All depends, really. I mean, all depends. Like some guys can do more in one position, but it really depends on their skill set and where
Because
you need them to
because
play.
is that what a two-way player is? A two-way player
Yeah.
is what? That can play both offense and defense, right?
Well, yeah, and he can also play more than one. Like he can play a
Position.
forward, or yeah, he can play a forward, or you know,
Okay.
or center or something. Yeah, he can play. Yeah, two-way guy. Yeah, I mean, so I like Ace Bailey.
Mm-hmm.
I also like the one big kid from Duke, but
Cooper Flag.
but
Well, he's
no,
not
no,
here.
the other guy.
Oh,
Because
the
I
other
knew we're not
guy.
getting where we got no shot at Cooper
Oh,
Flag.
okay. I gotta
We
do
got
my
no shot
research.
at Cooper Flag.
No,
Um,
no, we know that he's going to
he's a
Dallas.
guy who played alongside Cooper Flag. I would like to see him, but he's probably going to go second.
Okay.
Or we
Okay.
don't. I mean, we don't know. I mean, it's up in the air. I mean, I'm
Back
hoping
to
they
back
stay put.
deuces.
I'm hoping they stay put and don't trade it away
Gotcha.
because they can trade it now because it's theirs. Like,
Hmm.
you know, they can move down a little bit, and maybe get two picks out of it if they really wanted to. But I don't think that's a good idea. Just go with the kid, and
I feel like they're not at a point in their careers right now and front office savvy at this point to really move like
yeah,
Howie Roseman moves with draft picks. So I think they should keep their ass where they're supposed to
yeah,
be.
just stay where they are. Yeah, and then
Yeah.
try to see. I mean, the kid's gonna be valuable. I mean, I don't love it. I don't hate it either, but the kid's gonna be valuable. He's going to be a good player.
What are the needs position wise as you think the Sixers need at this point? What is like the
Well,
screaming need? Obviously shooters. We know that, but
well,
Jared's
shooters and like
back from healing.
we.
So
I can't remember. We're bringing. I haven't caught up on all my Sixers
yeah,
stuff
me either.
yet,
I
but
just
I
asking just
know.
off the cuff, like if you think about it, like
I,
what are your deficiencies you can think
I
off
mean,
the
I don't
rip?
know if they need another big man or not in the game, but
Hmm.
I don't know when they still got the young kid Bowman.
I
So
like Bona. I think Adem will it
yeah,
has a bright future. I do think they should just keep working with him.
yeah.
He's
But
pushed through
like
a lot
the
of
thing
bullshit.
is, yeah. But also, does it mean what do you do? Do you leave? I don't even know. Drummond's they're bringing Drummond back for another year, or is he
Fuck
gone?
Drummond. I think Drummond.
No.
Yeah, no, no.
Yeah.
That
So
dude is. I thought it was a
yeah.
joke bringing him back in the first place. I was glad he was energized enough to want to try, but his body gave up on him just like with Paul George. I mean, we have no choice but to
Well,
keep George, but
oh,
I think
Paul
they both.
George. Oh God, if
I feel
he could
bad
get
for him
healthy,
because
God.
he can't he was saying he was just saying on the 7 a.m. in Brooklyn pod with Mello that he said that he had been feeling good and all healthy until preseason and all of a sudden that freak hyperextension never healed and then everything else started to go, which again curse of being on the Sixers team right now because we can't keep our main man healthy since his MVP year. So we're at a point now where you have to focus on the little guys because that's all you have left. Like who would you want to bring? Do they need what are the positions? Wing, forward. I mean, who's going to be the Tobias? You know what I mean? Who's going to be the steady guys that stay on there just because they do have talent, they do have skills. We know Jared will stay, but will Jared
Yeah.
want to stay
I
after?
mean, yeah. But the thing is, good thing is, hopefully, Jared comes back and he's good.
Yeah,
Yeah, because I think he. I mean, he had a great year. I mean, it sucks that he went down.
it totally sucks because he was on fire. He was focused.
Such
Yeah,
a good player. I mean, but I still want to. Hate to say this, but we still need. I want to. I want a bad white boy on the team. We need one. We don't have one yet. Like, I want one. Like,
we need a milk chocolate. I mean, white
yeah,
chocolate.
there's somebody.
I said milk chocolate.
Yeah,
White
like a
chocolate.
Like a Lars Marketing or somebody like that. Yeah.
Oh, I forgot about it. Okay, so yeah,
But the thing is, they'd have to draft a trade to get him, and that's going to be too much. They had to give up too much to even try and get that kid. But that's the only problem. I guess they're gonna have to honestly try to ride, see like and try and go with some of the young guys and see what they can do. Because I mean,
they're gonna have to trust more of the guys on the bench as well as G leaguers as they did last time because some of them G leaguers did come through.
mm-hmm.
There were some kids, especially what's his name? Oh my God, the one that he was shooting and dunking a lot. I forgot. He stepped into a better position. Ricky. Ricky was doing well. Um, and you know, some of the young boys on the bench did come through at times when they're
Yeah,
obviously they just had nothing.
I'm hoping. Yeah, I'm
Tyrese,
hoping.
obviously.
Yeah, yeah, and I'm hoping we sign. I hope we sign Quentin Grimes. Grimes.
Oh yes, duh.
Oh,
Yes,
I want
he was
Quentin
our
Grimes.
star. Yes, he became our star.
Yeah, I
Yes.
mean, he was putting up, averaging like 30 points a night at one point. Like crazy.
The
So I
front
would
office
love to
would be
have him.
stupid not to sign him
Would
because
love to have him back.
he clearly took a leader position during that chaos of the season. Like he was the one that made them want to that he's the one that made me even want to watch games at that point because I was already
But the
off.
big question is, can we afford him?
Can we afford him? Yeah. I mean
That is the big question.
the front office has always been the hindrance since the process stopped, you know, since the process
Mm-hmm.
finished. So it's like it's still going to be the issue of the fans versus the front office because
Yeah.
I'm still in the boat of I want Embiid to retire, but I know he's not. I just feel like he shouldn't even try anymore, but he's not going to give up because he's got too much pride.
Nah, he's not gonna retire.
He's
He
not going to
won't.
retire. I just feel
I
like
mean,
physically he
be
should. His
nice
wife's
if he
pregnant with
did,
another
but
baby. I just feel like he should just save whatever he has left of his knee and just stop trying to be a hero and just sit his butt down. But hey, he's not. Um, I think we're just sick and tired of seeing him go down, which obviously is the general sentiment.
mhm.
Especially knowing that he scored 70 points 2 seasons prior. So it's like it's sad to
Yeah,
see him go from one high to an extreme low in the span of a season. It's just painful to take the ride with him.
yeah.
So, but the good news is the draft is coming June 25th. So now that I know that I'm happy, but even though I have cable, I'm just going to have to settle for highlights. So it is what it is. But yes, Quentin Grimes, yes, that's a go. All right. So moving on
Well,
to,
good thing is it'll be over fast for us because we'll be in the beginning. So
Yes, you're right because I think it's going to be really hard to even care even their regular summer season because it's just like it doesn't mean anything till the final roster shakes out by fall. So they have tons of time. But all right. So moving on to our number one Phillies. I think they're still in number one first place because they've
Yeah,
been winning a lot of series. Yeah.
I think they're like
So
two up right now, two or three up. Yeah.
and who are they playing tonight?
This not their night off, is it? Because they just played. They just finished the Braves. So,
They were interviewing Reese, so they must be playing the Brewers, I assume, because they were talking to Reese
oh,
Hobbs.
you know what? Yeah, the Brewers were next. Yep. So,
Yeah, so I think they are playing tonight. I think tonight is home with the Friday City jerseys again. So
City Connect. Yeah.
City Connect, which I hate them, but whatever. I mean, it looks good on all of them as far as a uniform, but I'm not a fan.
Yeah.
But anyway, so yeah, so it's good to see them on top. We see. I saw the highlight of Bryce getting hit again in the elbow,
Yeah,
and
that looked painful. Luckily, negative.
luckily
So nothing.
negative. But again,
Right.
it's fun social media to say, should they retaliate? Obviously, they chose not to, from what I heard.
Yeah.
But
Nah.
then I heard Trey got hit, so then I was like, what the fuck is going on? Then Trey got hit, but it wasn't as bad. He came back in. I heard like it hit his
Yeah.
cheek.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. He
it's
was
just
right. He was right back in.
to
So.
plunk or not to plunk, Eddie, is the question.
No, don't. It's like I understand if like the guy was doing it on purpose, like Strider did it on purpose. I don't think he did.
I don't think he did either.
He seemed like that kind of guy, that kind of player. We all know there's guys like that out there that will hit people on purpose. I mean,
Oh, Reese
so
got beamed many times during Mets series. We know, and Reese had every right to
yeah.
be petty because they were hitting him on purpose. They knew it.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, but
So I
I'm
mean,
with you. I don't agree that that was the time because I really do think that first of all they said he's hit four people prior, so he just has lack of control. So it's just something
yeah, he just
fighting.
yeah, he got away from him. I
Yeah.
mean, he even
So
like apologized after. He's like, "Oh my God,"
yeah,
like,
he's like, I'm not a sociopath. He's
yeah,
like,
right, yeah,
when I saw that clip, I cracked up because I'm like, first of all, with that porn stash, I'm not even know don't fit take you
exactly.
seriously, sir.
But are you? No, I'm not.
Yeah, yeah. Like the question is, but
Yeah.
no, I think that when it comes down to the Phillies, again, patience is a virtue because we know that they've been pretty shaky. I mean, we're having serious issues with now the Rangers back into full form, which was what they were anticipating. You also still got to debate whether or not, because what I heard talked about recently this week was whether or not Brandon Marsh coming back up is hurting Joe, what's his name, Rojas's chance of productivity.
Oh, fine. Yeah.
So some things are kind of starting to now mesh with other people's like, and then you got Bohm, who I thought they were going to let go or trade this past off season. Now he's starting to figure out his swing or whatever. So do you
It
think it's
takes a
just
while. It takes a minute. So I mean, it's
yeah, I
not.
mean, yeah, they have 162 games. We discuss this every season when fans start to get real, negative early. But it's
Yeah.
baseball, and I don't even see all of the game, and I already know I'm like by June, July is when I'll start panicking if they start going back down. But I feel like considering Bryce knows that they had so many chances in the past two seasons, I think he's really made an effort to try to be more focused and not be so laissez-faire about every game. Not that he ever
Mhm.
was, but I feel like he's trying to lead by example by being really serious now. And they canceled the whole daycare thing with Brandon Marsh and them, and so now they're trying to be a little more serious. I saw Real Muto hit a couple home runs lately, and he hasn't been hitting home runs in a while, so that's a good
Yeah,
sign. He's
the
been
past few
streaky.
games I watched him, then he's been a little off. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
striking out a lot. Yeah, but the thing is, the bats haven't been the problem as of late. Like
Okay.
here or
Or
there,
the
but
defense.
I mean, no, the problem's been the bullpen. It has not
Okay.
been the defense. The bullpen has been a problem. These guys are giving up like runs late, like, and that's not. I mean, they settled down a little bit, but you can't be running out and your bullpen's ERA is really high. I can't remember the like exact stat. I'd have to look it up for right now, but I know but I've been watching the game, so I've been
Mm-hmm,
seeing
mm-hmm.
it, and then for the past they've been settling down. But the problem is now, one, we don't have a closer anymore with
Yeah, with
But
Alvarado,
Alvarado's serving his 80 game suspension.
80 games for PDs. Yeah.
And then the problem is that even when he does come back, he help us get in October, but then we can't use him for October because he's not allowed to pitch in the off season because
Mm.
of because because of his being
Because
caught with
what is
his
using.
drug policy. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, luckily it's his first offense, and he's only like he only gets half to take off half the season. But
Yeah.
you know,
It's
it
just the
just sucks
horrible
that
timing once you saw it. I was like, what? I was like,
yeah,
please say
oh
this is a
god,
misunderstanding. Are you kidding me? I was like, he's the last person they need to be losing right now. Oh
mm-hmm.
my God. But
So now we got to figure out who the closer is going forward, and like
well, the Jorge Ramos guy has been working out pretty well, hasn't he? Shockingly, like people thought.
he's
I
settled
mean,
down
what's
a
his
little
last
bit.
name? Am I saying it right? I'm probably
Ramos,
messing up.
yeah, Ramos, yeah.
Ramos. Like they thought he was going to suck, and he's been doing pretty decent
You talking about
from
dude who looks like a little Dicky? You talking about him? You talking about him,
curly
right?
hair, the curly
The
hair with
guy
the
looks like
mustache. Yes,
yeah,
yes.
yeah,
I mean,
looks like a
it's
little
Jorge
Dicky, yeah.
and then it's Jesus. So it's like you're being saved by Jesus, and you're also being, you know what I mean? Like you got two pictures that, like, you know, you got to
Yeah, I
roll
mean,
with the punches.
Lizardo has been a freaking
He's been a
godsend. Like
beast. He's been a
he's
beast.
been tearing it up. Like
Yeah.
he's been good. So
And they just had
them
they
picking
just had a
him.
back to back. So I'm not shocked if they lost the second game because I'm like, come on, give a break. Like Wheeler has a bad game like once every decade. So
Yeah, I
you know,
mean, he gave up six, which was like unheard of. Like
very
wow,
rare.
six.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
I
he gave
saw
up that six.
once I knew it was a doubleheader, I said, why do people expect them to sweep doubleheaders? Like that's hard. Like your body is still kind of
Mm-hmm.
recovering from that last game. Like if they lose one of them games, I never get mad because I'm like, just get one. Just get
Well,
one.
I definitely wasn't mad because they won. They won the first game of
Right.
the series. And then
Yeah,
they
they won the
won
series.
first
Yeah.
game of the doubleheader. So they win the series. That's how that's how you continue to have a good record. You keep winning series. You win two out of three. The math works in your favor.
And you can't get lost
So
in the details when it comes to stuff like that, especially when they have been
yeah.
winning their last couple series. Like I'm like, you got to let one go. Like I mean, come on, let's. They're
Mm-hmm.
not robots. Like they're gonna miss some. But
Sure.
who else is the new addition to the bullpen now with Alvarado besides Jesus and Jorge? Who's the other guy? That is there another
Uh,
guy that's kind of sticking
they
out
called
or
Ross has been doing okay. They brought up Ross.
okay?
Well, they signed Ross in the offseason. So I
Okay.
mean, Ross is okay. They got a lot of names in the bullpen I haven't seen before.
I was
Like a
gonna
lot of
say that's why I was because I know that's probably why the only ones that are sticking
oh,
out are Jesus and Jorge because I'm like we keep talking
like
about
they
Jesus
have
and
Ruiz, they
Zardo.
got Ruiz, Ramos.
Oh, they still got
Yeah,
Ruiz.
a lot of guys. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, look,
So
it's gonna be one of those things. What do they call it? Almost like what they do with the running backs. Like it's gonna be using a whole bunch of them just to get through
yeah. Well,
this gap.
Strom is still coming out, and Kirkman is still coming out of the bullpen. So I mean,
And what's his name was just had a good game. It's not Santana. I know that's not his name. What is his name? The tall, lean pitcher that's been consistently good.
oh
You know what I'm talking about. It's not Santos. I'm being real racist.
no,
Sorry.
it's not Sanchez. No, it's not.
Forgive me because someone is
but
screaming like this bitch don't know who that guy is. Either way,
yeah, it's
y'all
not
know who the
Sanchez, but
pitcher
it's
is. He's been very
yeah.
consistent since last season. So I'm glad that he's still continuing to be sharper. It's not Carlos Santana. I feel like that sounds
Well, the
racist.
only lanky guy is Strom that I can think of is Strom. Strom is really
No,
good.
I'm thinking about the tall Latino guy that's usually has always been in the rotation since last season because he's been doing so consistently. Oh God, I hate when I forget shit. That's how you know it's been that long.
it's been a
Um,
long it's been a long day.
hold on. Christopher Sanchez. I said Carlos Santana.
Oh yeah,
I
Sanchez, yeah.
was
Oh
still
yeah, he's
CS,
been
not that racist.
yeah, Chris Sanchez has been doing well. Yeah.
So give him his props because that's why I say that's the bright side. You can't get fixated on all the stuff that doesn't make sense right now, but you have to understand this is why the MLB is 162 games because at some point there's going to be more than enough
Mhm.
time for them to get a fresh roster. It's just
Yeah.
again, like you said with Alvarado, that might be the only true question mark for the rest of the season at this point.
Taiwan Walker is still understand so that's why he's still on the team, but
Shocking that he actually had more than one good game because he was the one I thought for sure was going to be gone. Him and Bohm, I thought were going to be gone after last year, but I guess they
yeah, but
couldn't
Bowman
find a
had a better
pitcher.
year than let's say. I think
Yeah,
Bowman had a
he
better
definitely
season.
did. I just thought it was kind of
Yeah.
obvious that he was probably going to want a big contract, and people feel like he's kind of still kind of immature at
Like
times.
you don't, you're not worth it yet.
Yeah, yeah,
Until you're
yeah,
consistent.
yeah. Because he had moments in the field where he was having gaps and stuff mentally, and it was like weird. Because it was like, come on, Bone, you've been on third base for a while. What's going on? But
Yeah.
anyway, but I like the fact that the Phillies are still in fighting for him in
Oh yeah.
regardless of the adversity right now. I mean, because at this point, Bryce at his age should be used to being hurt from time to time on freak things. Because for a man like him who just started at first base, what, 2 seasons ago at this point, he
Yeah,
learned as
he hasn't
fast as
been
I
there.
did on the job.
Yeah.
I'm sitting here not even 3 months and know what the fuck I'm doing already. So I think Bryce is more like, I'm a professional. What the fuck you mean? But I think at this point it's just reassuring to just know out of all these teams, because not it's going to be time to cut off soon, but all these Philly teams, I think that the Phillies are a bright spot. Obviously the Eagles are, but that's kind of cheating because now we're two-time Super Bowl winners. And I can't wait to see when this fucking ring comes out because I'm dying to see how they're going to
See
improve
what it
from the
looks
last
like.
ring.
Yeah.
I definitely want to see if they have the disconnecting thing like the New York Liberty on the WNBA game. They had the ones that they screw off like the Chiefs did, where you take it off and it's like a whole nother design underneath or
Hmm.
something. Yeah, if they do that
That'd be
design,
interesting.
it'll be interesting. But anyway,
Yeah,
so
yeah, they haven't leaked anything yet. So,
they haven't, which is good because everybody's gonna be sucking the life out of that if they leak stuff, and they'll leak it on purpose because they're probably gonna leak just before they go to
oh
the
yeah,
celebration. But all right, well, it's time to cut this off. Birds of the Feather, CoEd edition. We back. And we'll be back
we
as the
back.
season grows. Post NBA draft might be some good stuff to talk about by then. And everybody just keep watching the sports. I'm gonna get ready and watch my WNBA, and Eddie gonna watch the Phillies game for me. And I will talk to you all on the other side.
Later,
Peace.
guys.
La. Bye.